A few moments later. One eternity later.
Welcome to the FCC. It's absolutely wonderful to have a full house today. My name is Tara Joseph. I'm vice president of the club and a journalist with Reuters here in Hong Kong. I'm going to start with a slightly depressing list of recent events in Hong Kong: Occupy Central and a disenfranchised youth, a falling stock market and for lease sales signs up around stores around Hong Kong. I won't even mention the booksellers and the riots that we had over Chinese New Year. So with all of that in mind, what is the future for Hong Kong, and is this city doomed? Well, our speaker today, Sir David Tang, really represents all that was he personifies the vibrant Hong Kong that many of us knew in earlier years. He started a fashion chain that represented luxury and a great mark for Hong Kong, the China Club. He's known as a concert pianist. He's a columnist for the Financial Times. So very curious to hear his view on where Hong Kong is headed. Sir David Tang.
Thank you very much. I'm so old now, I got a contortion of the truth. Does anyone here really believe that the government, our government, foster harmony or share prosperity? Does the government itself believe that it fosters harmony and shares prosperity? I believe these words are patronizing and condescending at best, and at worst, meaningless. What it all means to me is the disingenuousness of our chief executive and government, and the contempt with which they hold us, the citizens of Hong Kong. But should we have expected anything else? I mean, after all, throughout the umbrella movement, for example, our chief executive steadfastly refused to meet the protesters. We should remember that even Li Peng, the hardcore, hardline Chinese premier at the time, received Wu Kexi, and what's more, in full view of national television. By comparison, our chief executive hid behind the azaleas at Government House. What on earth would an ordinary citizen of Hong Kong care or understand about One Belt, One Road? Is our chief executive really trying to push Hong Kong trade and our financial services across Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Iran, Iraq, and inexorably into the heart of the terrifying Islamic State? Therefore, if I were to hold out any hope for a better Hong Kong, I would first wish for a much stronger and much more effective chief executive, by which I mean someone who would at least appear to represent the people of Hong Kong and not fearful of relaying to the Chinese authority. I would even wish for a chief executive who was cunning enough to persuade the Chinese government to hear openly the grievances of Hong Kong, whilst knowing full well that they will fall on deaf ears. But at least under these open circumstances, we will obtain an airing of what those grievances are. Then sooner or later, people will become conscious for the need of compromise. Thank you very much.
Questions for Sir David? Who'd like to start? We'll start over here.
If you can comment, care to comment. Thank you.
Do you think Britain owes Hong Kong a bit more support? Or do you think they...
Listen, Britain left $3 trillion behind. What more do you want them to do? And this joint declaration must be one of the most successful international...
And how do you read it?
Well, the fact answer to your question.
As you can guess, I hope you'll come round and at least have a drink in the main bar. You don't have to wear it, but thank